Hey everyone, it's Ruby Owl. I'm in my kitchen today because I wanted to show you a couple of different ways that you can make glue if you don't have any. The first way I'm going to show you is the easiest way. And what we're going to do, these are my measuring cups, by the way. Everybody always asks me what this is. They look like funny little nesting dolls, and they're my measuring cups, and they have a little measurement of it. You can't see it on the camera, but trust me, there's a measurement on the bottom. Anyway, the first glue that we're going to make is the easiest one. And to do it, sorry, I have my flour, I keep it in a cupboard down here. We're going to take 1 part flour and 1 part water. So when we say part, we mean that we want the whole kind of recipe to be that ratio. So it's not an exact measurement, it's a ratio. So when I say 1 part water and 1 part flour, I mean the same amount of flour as water. So it doesn't matter what measuring cup you use, as long as you use the same amount for flour and water. So pour the water in, and I'm going to use the same one that I used my flour. And then I'm going to put in, this is just salt, and that's going to keep it from going all funky on us. So put that in. I'm going to grab my spoon. Mix that all up. And it's going to look like a really wet bread dough. Because you know what? It is a really wet bread dough. So there. So when we have it all mixed up, it's like this paste. And this type of glue would be good for doing paper mache or sticking 2 pieces of paper together, but it's not going to be super strong. So if you're going to be gluing wood or plastic or anything a little heavier than a couple of pieces of paper, this glue might not cut it for you. So I'm going to show you a different type of glue that has a few more steps to make, but it's a little bit stronger. So what I have in here is 1 cup of cooked rice. This is jasmine rice because that's what I ordinarily have in my kitchen, but any kind of rice will work for this. It's not super important to have exactly the right kind. I'm going to take it, and this is my blender, and I'm going to put this inside. And then, just like we did for the first glue, we're going to do equal parts rice and water. And also, just like we did for our first glue, we're going to put some salt in there because we don't want it to go funky on us. Funky is great for music, funky is great for dancing, funky is not a great smell. Okay, so when we're all done, we want to keep blending it until all the chunks are out. So when you don't see any clumps of rice or any whole grains and it all looks smooth, that's when you're going to stop blending. Now, this is still pretty runny to use as glue. What we have here is actually rice milk, and if you wanted to, you could drink this, or you could use it in a recipe for cooking. but we're not interested in a recipe. We're gonna make some glue. So I'm gonna grab my pan and I'm gonna turn on my stove, and you might want to have your grown-up help you out with this. Wait a few minutes for that to get all nice and hot. Pour this in. Camera fell down a little bit on me. So let me show you this. See how there's bubbles in it and there's steam rising from the top? That's how we know we're almost there. Okay, so we are done. I have turned off my stove. You can see all these bubbles popping in it. And here's the test. See, when we put our spoon through it, it leaves this line. See that? And a lot of our water has left the building. It has risen up in the steam. So now we have a more concentrated paste full of rice. So the next thing you're going to want to do is wait for your rice glue to cool and throw it in an airtight container. So a container with a really tight fitting lid or a Ziploc bag so that it doesn't dry out and get all hard on you before you want to use it. And that's another tip too. Make sure you make your glue the same day that you want to use your glue. You don't really want to keep this around for too long. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope that helped some of you make some crafts when you can't get to the store to get glue. Thanks for joining me today, and keep on guiding.